Well, I'm back. Welcome back to another relaxing review of Marvel movies, one at a time. I have no idea what I'm really going to call this. But basically, if you want to fall asleep listening to me eat, if this is ASMR to you, if this is a mukbang channel to you, welcome. It doesn't really matter to me, just as long as you subscribe. Today, we're talking about The Incredible Hulk. Let's see how this one compares, kind of. The opening credits of this movie kind of took us through the entire story that we've seen before that was hideously boring when Eric Bana played the Hulk when I was just a kid. So we kind of got through all of that early dialogue discussion about what the Hulk really is and how he comes into being. I was struck by how much visual information was sent to us at the beginning of this movie. This movie at the beginning in particular was very much, I think, the embodiment of show don't tell. And it just kind of expected us to be smart enough to understand it rather than to have to reinforce it over and over and over again through dialogue. However, that almost ended up working to this movie's detriment, because by the end of all of that visual storytelling, once they finally got into a few scenes where there needed to be dialogue, I was incredibly bored very quickly by hearing the dialogue that they had. But I haven't seen all the new ones. Maybe they do it really well in future movies, and I'll find that out soon. But this movie, the middle of it really dragged. The blood effect was both horridly disgusting at the beginning of this and really bad CGI. And then we're following this blood clot all the way to Stan Lee, but then nothing comes of it. Apparently, like, there was a news segment that said something about someone gets sick because they drank a bottle that had some, like, radiated blood in it or something like that. I hate the guy with the mustache. That's just a rule of this movie. Hate him. Anytime I see the guy with the white mustache, my blood boils and I just want to punch him in the face. I did think that this movie built tension very masterfully throughout yuck. Throughout the entire thing. I felt like they really built tension very well. By the end, I kept waiting for him to have enough of his blood pressure grow fast enough for him to turn into the Hulk, and I kept expecting it to happen. I thought that was a very good way for them to kind of visually and orally, is that right? That doesn't quite sound right. Early? I felt like that was a good way for them to show that both ways, both through sound mixing and through visual aids, that he was going to become the Hulk. And they continued to grow and grow and grow the tension, and then finally he turns into the Hulk, and it was very rewarding at that point. So I did like that part of this movie. I was fascinated by the amount of post 9/11-y that this movie seemed. I don't know if you remember that emo time in our history when we as a collective culture turned into just a bunch of 12-year-old goth kids, that everything that we wanted was dark and gritty. This movie's very dark and gritty, and I'm kind of bored of it. I was interested by they needed the stretchy pants. I've always wondered how the Hulk keeps his pants on. I guess I got my answer. You know the bad guys are the bad guys when they shoot a dog. This movie, the armed forces just seemed to be stupid all the way through. They made some very bad decisions. They're trying to shoot the Hulk with guns, and they try to do it in multiple scenes when they've seen every time the bullets just fall right off of him. Finally, at the end, the big green villain with the big spiky back comes out, and he is a little bit bigger, but then one of them tries to shoot, or they say something about shooting this guy, and they're like, do you really think shooting that's gonna help? And I felt like I wanted to get salty right back at him. Did you really think shooting the Hulk was gonna help? By the way, also, Hulk Smash, I think, is the single most cringy line I've ever seen. That was a cringe fest entirely. It was wonderful.
Hulk smash!
I did like Liv Tyler in this movie a little bit, but every time I see her, all I can think is Arwen. This movie was fine. It's fine. It's just, it wasn't something that jumped out and grabbed me. It feels old and tired, and it feels very dark and joyless. It's just still not a very particularly good movie, I don't think. It wasn't something that really jumped off the page and I was like, wow, this movie is incredible. I basically, on this channel, review any kind of movies that are even loosely related to Disney. If you're interested in anything like that, please subscribe, like, comment. I want this channel to grow. That's what I want to do. So, I need your help for that to happen. Share on your Instagram, and I will post a frame right here. Take a screenshot of that, and then you can post that on your Instagram or whatever. Tell people to come check me out. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.